Welcome, fellow travelers, to the wonders of Spain. A land where passion ignites every dance step, where flamenco echoes through ancient courtyards, and where centuries of history are carved into every stone. Now, what if I told you that Spain is so much more than just sunny beaches and pitchers of sangria? What if I told you that Spain is a living museum where Roman ruins, Moorish palaces, and Gothic cathedrals sit side by side? A place where every street corner has a story, every meal is a celebration, and every sunset feels like a painting come to life. Today, I invite you on a journey deep into the vibrant soul of Spain, a country that dances between past and present, tradition and innovation, nature and city life. So grab your passport, open your heart, and let's set off on an unforgettable adventure across this mesmerizing land. Picture this: Spain sprawls across the sun-kissed Iberian Peninsula, sharing its borders with Portugal to the west and France to the northeast, with the towering Pyrenees Mountains acting as a natural barrier. To the south, just across the narrow Strait of Gibraltar, lies Morocco, making Spain one of Europe's closest neighbors to Africa. Spain boasts more than 3,000 miles of coastline, kissed by two iconic bodies of water: the fierce Atlantic Ocean, shaping the rugged northern shores, and the gentle Mediterranean Sea, giving life to the country's famous beach destinations like Costa del Sol and Costa Brava. But Spain's importance isn't just about geography. Thanks to its colonial past, Spain became Europe's gateway to Latin America, with deep cultural, linguistic, and historical ties stretching across continents. It's also a strategic point between Europe and Africa, a hub for trade, travel, and diplomacy. So whether you're hopping across Europe, setting sail to Morocco, or jetting off to Latin America, Spain sits at a crossroads of civilizations, a meeting point of old worlds and new. Now imagine peeling back the layers of Spain's past, each one more fascinating than the last. We begin over 2,000 years ago, when Spain was part of the mighty Roman Empire. You can still walk among Roman aqueducts in Segovia or marvel at ancient amphitheaters in Merida, living proof of a civilization that once stretched across Europe. But then came a new wave. For nearly 800 years, much of Spain was under Moorish rule, Muslim leaders from North Africa who transformed the country with dazzling architecture, advanced sciences, and flourishing trade. The Alhambra in Granada, with its delicate arches and intricate carvings, is a breathtaking reminder of this golden era. Yet the story doesn't end there. By the late 15th century, Spain saw the rise of the Christian Reconquista, a centuries-long push to reclaim territory from Moorish control, culminating in the unification of Spain under Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella. And here's where Spain's influence explodes across the world. With explorers like Christopher Columbus, Spain launched the Age of Discovery, building an empire so vast it stretched across the Americas, parts of Africa, and even the Philippines and Asia. For a time, Spain was one of the most powerful nations on Earth, shaping global trade, culture, and politics. From world-changing voyages to centuries of cultural fusion, Spain's history isn't just its own, it's woven into the fabric of European and world history. It's a past that continues to echo today in its art, its architecture, and its people. Now let's step into the heart of Spain, its people and way of life. Have you ever heard of the famous Spanish siesta? It's not just a nap, it's a symbol of Spain's slower, more intentional pace of life. In many small towns, shops close in the early afternoon, giving families time to rest, share a long lunch, or simply pause from the daily rush. Here, life isn't ruled by the clock, it's ruled by connection. But don't be fooled, Spain's not always sleepy. Come evening, the energy surges back. Picture this: lively plazas filled with music, children playing late into the night, couples strolling arm in arm, friends gathering at outdoor cafes for tapas and drinks. Spaniards are famously warm, social, and passionate. They love deep conversations, often stretching late into the night about art, football, politics, or simply life. And family? It's the core of everything. Multi-generational gatherings are common, with grandparents, parents, and children sharing traditions, stories, and meals. So when you walk through a Spanish village or city, don't be surprised if strangers greet you with a smile or invite you to join the local festivities. Here, life is lived out loud, with joy, with heart, and always with a deep respect for tradition. Now, let me take you into the breathtaking natural wonders of Spain, a country blessed with landscapes so diverse, you'll feel like you're traveling through several nations at once. Imagine standing on the golden sands of the Costa del Sol, where the Mediterranean sparkles under a cloudless sky. Sunbathers, surfers, and sailors flock here for a taste of Spain's world-famous beaches. But if you crave something wilder, head north to the mighty Pyrenees Mountains, a dramatic natural border with France. Here, rugged peaks, deep valleys, and snowy slopes create a paradise for hikers, skiers, and nature lovers. Looking for something even more exotic? Jet off to the Canary Islands, Spain's volcanic jewels in the Atlantic Ocean. Picture black sand beaches, towering volcanoes, and alien-like landscapes that feel straight out of another world. And we can't forget the peaceful Spanish countryside, endless vineyards producing world-class wines, ancient olive groves that stretch across the land, and rolling sun-soaked plains where time seems to stand still. In Spain, nature offers a feast for the senses. Whether you're chasing sun, snow, or surreal volcanic landscapes, this country has a stunning scene waiting just for you. Beyond its beauty, Spain is also a country of intellect and industry, shaping minds and markets not just in Europe but across the world. Let's start with education. Did you know Spain is home to one of the oldest universities in Europe? The University of Salamanca, founded in 1218, has welcomed scholars and thinkers for over 800 years. Even today, Spanish universities attract international students for programs in art, architecture, business, and science. On the economic front, Spain thrives on a mix of old and new. Tourism is a massive driver, drawing millions of visitors to its beaches, cities, and historic sites every year. But agriculture is just as important. Spain is a top exporter of olive oil, wine, and fresh produce, supplying tables across Europe and beyond. And here's something you might not expect. Spain is a key player in the automotive industry, with major car production hubs and global brands manufacturing right here. Add in a thriving fashion scene, think Zara, Mango, and Massimo Dutti, and you've got a country that's both stylish and productive. As a proud member of the European Union, Spain plays a crucial role in the continent's political and economic landscape, contributing to EU decisions, policies, and trade agreements that shape the region's future. So whether you're a student, an investor, or simply curious about Spain's global reach, you'll find a country balancing deep-rooted traditions with dynamic modern ambition. Now, let's explore the spiritual and linguistic heart of Spain, a country shaped by centuries of diverse beliefs and languages. Spain today is predominantly Catholic, with grand cathedrals, centuries-old monasteries, and religious festivals that fill the calendar. But look closer and you'll find deep layers of history. For centuries, Spain was home to a remarkable blend of Christian, Islamic, and Jewish cultures, especially during the era of Al-Andalus when Moorish cities like Córdoba and Granada thrived as centers of art, science, and religious coexistence. Though Spain's Jewish and Islamic populations were largely expelled or converted during the late Middle Ages, their architectural, artistic, and cultural influences remain woven into the fabric of Spanish identity. When it comes to language, most of Spain speaks Castilian Spanish, the version of Spanish you'll hear in most international conversations. But here's something fascinating. Spain is also home to regional languages like Catalan in Catalonia, Basque in the Basque Country, and Galician in Galicia. These aren't dialects, they're full languages, with their own histories, literature, and cultural pride. So whether you're visiting a bustling city or a remote village, you'll find that Spain's linguistic and religious heritage is rich, varied, and deeply respected, a true mosaic of identities that makes every corner of the country feel unique. All right, travelers, it's time to dive into Spain's iconic landmarks, the places that have drawn dreamers, artists, and adventurers for centuries. First stop, the Alhambra in Granada. Perched high on a hill, this stunning Moorish palace is a masterpiece of Islamic art and architecture. With its delicate arches, intricate tile work, and tranquil gardens, it feels like stepping into a fairy tale. Next, we head to Barcelona, where the Sagrada Familia rises like a surreal stone forest. Designed by the visionary Antoni Gaudí, this unfinished basilica is one of the most unique buildings in the world, a mix of Gothic and Art Nouveau, still under construction after more than 140 years. Just a short walk away, you'll find Park Güell, another gaudy creation, a colorful wonderland of mosaics, sculptures, and whimsical architecture that feels like walking through a dream. And for art lovers, Madrid's Prado Museum is a treasure trove. Home to masterpieces by Velázquez, Goya, and El Greco, it's one of Europe's finest art museums, a must-visit for anyone passionate about history and creativity. Finally, we can't skip the Seville Cathedral, the largest Gothic cathedral in the world, and home to the tomb of Christopher Columbus. Its towering bell tower, the Giralda, offers panoramic views over the enchanting city of Seville. With 48 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Spain is a wonderland of architectural marvels, historic treasures, and cultural landmarks, each one telling its own unforgettable story. Now, if you think Spain is only about its famous cities, think again. Let me take you off the beaten path to discover some of Spain's hidden gems and quirky traditions. First up, the breathtaking town of Ronda. Perched dramatically over a deep gorge, Ronda is famous for its stunning bridge, Puente Nuevo, which connects the old and new parts of the town. Imagine standing on that bridge, looking down at the cliffs below. It's like being inside a medieval postcard. Then we head deeper into Andalusia, where tiny whitewashed villages known as the Pueblos Blancos dot the rolling hills. These hidden villages are perfect for slow travelers who want to experience authentic Spanish life, far from the crowds. And of course, Spain is world famous for its unique festivals. Have you heard of La Tomatina? Every August, in the small town of Bunal, thousands gather for the world's biggest tomato fight, an explosion of color, laughter, and pure chaos. Or maybe you've seen the legendary running of the bulls in Pamplona, part of the San Fermin festival. It's one of Spain's most adrenaline-filled traditions, where daring runners sprint alongside charging bulls through the narrow city streets. These are the moments, the hidden places and unforgettable festivals that reveal the playful, daring, and deeply rooted spirit of Spain. Would you join the adventure? Before you pack your bags, let's talk about something every smart traveler should know: safety and local etiquette in Spain. The good news? Spain is considered one of the safest countries in Europe for travelers. Violent crime is rare, and most visits are trouble-free. But like any popular destination, you'll want to stay alert in busy areas, especially in major cities like Madrid and Barcelona, where pickpocketing can happen in crowded tourist spots, on public transport, or at festivals. Now, when it comes to local customs, Spain has its own charming rhythm. For starters, punctuality here is a little more relaxed. Showing up 10 or 15 minutes late is often no big deal, especially in social settings. But don't mistake that for rudeness. Spaniards are generally very polite and friendly. A simple hello or buenos dias goes a long way, especially when entering shops or restaurants. And while tipping isn't obligatory, it's always appreciated. Rounding up the bill or leaving small change for good service is a nice gesture. In short, if you bring an open heart, a little patience, and a respectful attitude, you'll find the Spanish incredibly welcoming and eager to share their beautiful country with you. Get ready, because we've arrived at one of Spain's greatest joys: the food, the shopping, and the festivals. Let's start with the food. Spain is a culinary paradise where every region has its own specialties. Ever heard of tapas? These small, flavorful dishes, from patatas bravas to garlic shrimp, are designed for sharing and socializing. You'll find locals hopping from bar to bar, sampling bites and sipping on local wine. And of course, you can't visit Spain without tasting a steaming paella, packed with saffron, seafood, or meats, or slicing into jamón ibérico, Spain's world-famous cured ham. And for those with a sweet tooth, a plate of warm, crispy churros con chocolate will make you feel like you've stepped into dessert heaven. Now, onto the shopping scene. In Madrid and Barcelona, you'll find a mix of elegant boutiques, modern fashion brands, and lively local markets where you can browse fresh produce, artisan goods, and handmade souvenirs. And when it comes to festivals, Spain knows how to throw a party like no other. During Semana Santa, the streets come alive with grand processions and centuries-old religious traditions. Feria de Abril in Seville, you'll see colorful flamenco dresses, horse parades, and all-night dancing. And during Carnival, cities like Cádiz and Santa Cruz burst into vibrant costumes, parades, and music. These moments, the flavors, the sounds, the celebrations, are the heartbeat of Spanish life. Wouldn't you love to experience it firsthand? Now, what if you fall so in love with Spain that you don't just want to visit, you want to stay? Good news! Spain offers several options for travelers from the USA and UK who want to study, work, or even live here long-term. Let's break it down. If you're coming for a short visit, up to 90 days, you don't need a visa thanks to Spain's agreements with the US and UK. But if you want to study, Spain's universities and language schools welcome thousands of international students each year. Programs like Erasmus connect European students, but many Spanish universities also offer partnerships and exchange agreements with American and British institutions. Thinking about working? Spain has options like working holiday visas or skilled worker permits for professionals. Digital nomads. Take note, Spain has recently introduced a digital nomad visa that makes it easier for remote workers to live and work here legally. For those dreaming of a more permanent move, Spain offers non-lucrative visas, as well as residency pathways if you invest in property or start a business. Of course, the visa and residency process comes with paperwork, so be sure to check the latest requirements from the Spanish consulate before you pack your bags. Would you consider making Spain your home, even for a little while? With its beautiful lifestyle and welcoming spirit, it's no wonder so many travelers do. Let's take a moment to compare Spain with the USA and UK because if you're watching from there, you're probably wondering, how does life stack up? First, the cost of living. You'll be happy to know that Spain is often more affordable, especially if you step outside major cities like Madrid or Barcelona. Rent, groceries, dining out, and even healthcare tend to cost less compared to big cities in the US or the UK. Speaking of healthcare, Spain's system is publicly funded and consistently ranks among the best in Europe. Residents and EU citizens have access to universal care, and even private insurance options are often cheaper than what Americans might pay. When it comes to transportation, Spain shines with its excellent public system. High-speed trains like the Avenue connect major cities in just a few hours, local metros and buses are efficient, and walking or biking is a way of life in many Spanish towns. And the climate? Well, if you're coming from rainy Britain or snowy parts of the US, Spain's Mediterranean sun will feel like a dream. The south is famously warm and dry, while the north has a cooler, greener climate. So whether you're comparing prices, healthcare, or daily lifestyle, Spain offers a refreshing mix of affordability, comfort, and sunshine, making it an appealing destination not just to visit, but maybe even to call home. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with some fun facts and traveler tips that will make your Spanish adventure even smoother. Did you know that Spain has the second highest number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world, right after Italy? From the ancient cave paintings of Altamira to the stunning works of Gaudi, Spain is literally packed with global treasures. Now, let's talk practical tips. First, tipping. Unlike in the US, tipping in Spain isn't mandatory, but rounding up the bill or leaving small change is always appreciated for good service. Second, dining hours. Brace yourself, Spaniards eat late. Lunch often happens around 2 or 3 p.m. and dinner? Sometimes as late as 9 or 10 p.m. So if you're used to early meal times, adjust your schedule to truly dine like a local. And lastly, transport tips. Investing in local transport passes like metro or bus cards can save you money and hassle, especially in big cities. And remember, many city centers are pedestrian-friendly, so bring comfy shoes and get ready to explore on foot. These little details can make a big difference, turning a good trip into a truly unforgettable experience. And just like that, our journey across Spain comes to an end. Or maybe it's just the beginning. 'Cause Spain, my friends, is more than a destination, it's a feeling. It's the warmth of a sunset over Seville, the taste of freshly grilled paella by the sea, the echoes of flamenco in a moonlit plaza, and the centuries of history whispering through every cobblestone street. So, which part of Spain stole your heart today? Was it the artistic wonder of Barcelona, the Moorish magic of Granada, or the lively streets of Madrid? Tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your favorite Spanish city, dream destination, or even your own travel stories. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join us on even more incredible adventures around the world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and remember, the world is waiting for you.